This episode of the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast is brought to you by the Podcast Reach System. Are you ready to exponentially reach more profitable customers? Launching and hosting your own show is your proven best solution for networking, client attraction, and establishing your celebrity expert brand. Visit www.podcastreachsystem.com and claim your rightful place as the leading star of your industry so you make a difference for your community, market, and audience. Welcome to the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast. Join us as we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who reveal what they are doing to make the world a better place by being part of it. Be sure to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now sit back, lean in, tune in, get your notepad and 2 pens ready, and let's get started.
Hi, my name is Adam Homey, and I am once again honored by your wise decision, sometimes I never know where that webcam is, to tune in and invest in yourself today. Here at the Brilliance Plus Passion Project, we spotlight those who make the world a better place by being part of it and by their contributions to it. Sometimes we have people who come back more than once, and I love returning contestants. Folks who've been on this show before will sometimes come back because they have something new they want to share, something new they've developed, some new gift, some new share they want to provide for their community, market, and audience. And I'm so honored, and I was actually singularly pleased last week when the gentleman who I'm about to reintroduce to you approached me last week saying that he just has this new thing. He's excited for everybody to hear about it, and I'm going to help him share it. So his name is Greg Jameson. For those of you who may not be watching this live on video or who may not recognize the man, although he is very recognizable, he is one of the top known authorities in the e-commerce world. He's written over a dozen books about online sales and has spoken on every continent except Antarctica. But give us a few years, we may make that happen. He's been listed on the Inc. 500, named Colorado Small Business of the Year, and International Developer of the Year. He has developed literally hundreds and hundreds of online stores working with companies of all sizes to help them sell their products and services online. So when Greg came to me, I was curious about what he has for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is I myself am in the process of diversifying my business. We have the Podcast Reach System, which we now call Launch Your Podcast Fast. And we also have other solutions coming out, including Post Your Podcast Fast, Brand Your Podcast Fast. We've recently acquired the Author Marketing Platform, which we're about to relaunch under our own aegis. And we are now in the place of investing in telesummits, both sponsoring them and hosting them. So for our listeners, keep your eyes open for that because there may be some opportunities for you. But in the meantime, there's this other piece, e-commerce, online stores. Now, technically, I know how to build them, but my experience with building them was mostly I build the engine and then I drive it up to my client and I hand them the Lamborghini with the keys in the ignition and the full tank of gas. Greg is the guy who takes it from there. Greg Jameson, it's always great to have you here. Welcome back.
Thanks, Adam. I am really excited and happy to be back. And I appreciate the kind introduction as well.
Yeah, so we have the 10 questions we normally ask on these, and I'm going to refer all of our listeners to your previous appearance on the show so we don't do that again. And for our listeners, it's great. You get 2 Greg Jamesons for the price of 1. Always a great deal through e-commerce. But overall, just tell us what's going on. You've developed this new thing. What's up?
Well, as you know, and as you said, I've been working with companies for a couple of decades here, helping them sell their products and services online. And one of the things that I have found is that so many of these people have the exact same types of questions. They may be specific to their business, but the types of questions are still the same. Do I need to charge taxes? How can I reduce my shipping costs? What are the types of things that I can do to get people to buy more products once they do come to my website?
Yeah.
And what I've decided to do is, rather than me just pontificating to people the same stuff over and over again, is let's get all these people together in a virtual room and let's discuss these issues. Let's have something like, I recently had a client who actually got sued because her website was not ADA compliant. That's a problem that all e-commerce websites have. Hardly anybody even knows that you have to be ADA compliant. So the concept is, let's put together a 20 or 30-minute presentation about one of these topics, and then let's have everybody in the room discuss what their experiences are with it and how they can help each other. So it's a great way for everybody to learn from each other. So it's kind of a combination of a class and a mastermind, and I like to call it a success program.
Right. And I think that's awesome. And I'm so glad you're bringing this to the fore. Really, I am. And a lot of questions do come up with e-commerce, and one of them is candidly, the shipping issue. And I remember with a client of mine who has since shifted to all digital, but back in the days he used to sell CDs and DVDs and all that. And I remember trying to work out real-time shipping tables and being told that to mail his $7.95 CD, it was going to cost $82 in shipping and handling to get it there in 3 days. So people have questions like, how the hell?
Yeah. And people don't want to spend $8 in shipping for a $20 product, right?
Much less $80 for an $8 product.
Yeah. So it is a real concern for people that are in e-commerce, and especially because of the fact that everybody knows that with Amazon Prime, you get free shipping. And so Amazon has set the bar, way up here, and it's something that everybody else has to basically match in some form or fashion. And it's not a simple thing. So that's the kind of thing where I'm not saying I've got all the answers. I'm going to bring in other experts into this program, people that are in the shipping industry, so they can talk about it. But I think that's definitely the kind of thing where, hey, let's get a dozen e-commerce owners in this same virtual room and let's talk about this. I've been saying for years that you should build the cost of shipping into the cost of your product so that you can offer free shipping. But $80 shipping for an $8 product, that doesn't work. Let's get together and figure this out.
Oh, yeah, certainly. Now, the way we solved that one is we just decided that we weren't going to offer them 5 different ways to get that CD in the mail. It was going to go United States Postal Mail, and it was going to be $3 all in. And I think he changed the price of it. I think I said it was $7.99. He changed it something like $9.97 and sort of split the difference 2 to 1 on the shipping. So the customer paid 2/3 of it, and he ate 1/3.
And everybody's shipping is actually different. Like I said, the problem is shipping costs. But I've got a customer that actually ships books overseas. That's expensive.
Oh, yeah. I've got clients that do that too.
And, other people don't have such big issues because they're sending something that's really lightweight and you can just stick it in an envelope and mail it. And kind of everything in between. There's some people that I've got that are actually selling heavy equipment. You can't send that stuff UPS. That's got to go common carrier, right?
No, you cannot. You can't do it FedEx either, and you certainly can't do it United States Postal Service.
But the issues are still the same. We've got expensive shipping costs, and what can we do to reduce those costs? And I think that the best way to solve the problem is definitely to have everybody get together where they can learn from each other and say, hey, uh, the exact thing here may not work, but the concept of what this guy's doing is maybe something that I should try in my business.
All right, so here's a question that's come up because I've been chatting among some of my own colleagues about what you're doing, and one of the things I want to know is what is something that I could ask Greg that might be very intriguing, and this is what has come up for me 3 or 4 times so far, is somebody decides they want to get into an e-commerce business, and whether it's selling like nutrition supplements or merch or their arts and crafts or they're doing drop shipping models, whatever it is, the question keeps coming up, why why would somebody buy from me when so many others do substantially the same thing? And how do I raise myself up in that noise so that people find my site as opposed to 85 other e-commerce sites that all do what I do?
It's a great question. And I think that it's interesting. I was actually talking to a colleague the other day about uh, why is it that some e-commerce companies struggle to sell $1,000 a month on their website and other
Yeah.
ones are selling, $10,000 a day on their website? What's the
Yeah.
difference between these companies? And, why would somebody, to your question, why would somebody buy something from you when there are other people out there that are selling similar products? And I think that it all comes down to basically your business acumen. And by joining a program like what we are talking about here, I think
Uh-huh.
that you're going to be talking to other people that have been successful, and maybe some of that business acumen will rub off on you. But part of that is you have to establish yourself as really being the expert in a particular field. If you
Right.
are selling nutrition supplements, as an example, I can tell you, I used to have a nutrition supplement online store and I failed miserably. I've got a client who's a doctor that does sell online supplements and he's knocking it out of the ballpark. Uh, Pretty obvious what that difference is, right? Here,
Yep.
here's Greg Jameson over here trying to push supplements just because they happen to work for him versus this doctor that is clearly the expert. He's working with hundreds of different people. He can say, hey, I've seen results of these supplements working on patients with this particular condition. He is the expert and he shows that on his website. He doesn't just push supplements. He goes out there and he describes in detail why a particular supplement works for a particular condition. So he's established himself as the expert. And I think that's really the single biggest thing that I can see, is that once you've established yourself as the expert, it makes it a whole lot easier to sell the products around your expertise.
Yeah, and I think that crosses over into entrepreneurship too. A client I've had for a long time, they appeal to a corporate type audience, and they themselves had a background in corporate and were getting into this business of becoming an information provider within a certain narrow but deep niche. And when I first started working with them, it was just when they were getting started with doing a lot with their email marketing, creating white papers and resources. And the debate we had was, should the emails go out under the name of the brand or under the name of the person? They wanted to send it out under the name of the brand because they thought, oh, well, if I send it out under my name, I'm just gonna look like some random one-stop shop, or one person shop, and nobody's gonna take it seriously. They're gonna laugh about it. And there's no way I'm gonna be able to compete with anybody else. So what I did is I went and found a few of their competitors and said, hey, look, the competitors are using human names. So I got I might want to call it vindication, but I'm not really big on I told you so, but just, it's more like, yeah, that's what I was telling you. When I met this client when they came to Las Vegas for a major seminar in their industry, and I met with the client for dinner, and here's what they said. They said, you're so and so. You're the one that sends out that newsletter every week. I love it. Every time I see your name in my inbox, I open it because it's something good. Let me say that phrase again. Every time I see your name in my inbox, I open it because it's something good. So she was at that conference as, well, let's just say what it is. One of many consultants with their shingle out looking for clients. Now, she didn't have to have those what do you do conversations that 95% of the time go nowhere in exchange with end with an exchange of business cards where later that night both people are looking at it and say, who the hell was that person? And they throw it away. She had people coming up to her because she had established celebrity. And the transition was she was a human figurehead on a corporate brand. People can feel relationships with people, and many times more they can feel with brands. Like the other day, I made a post on my Facebook because I got an email. Somehow Lysol got my email address, even though I don't remember subscribing to them, saying, exciting news, Lysol's on TikTok. And I thought, oh boy, so all I have to do is give my data to the CCP and I'll finally learn how to wipe my countertop? Gee, that's exciting. Okay. However, if that had been some brand influencer on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, that was talking about here are ways to deal with stains that you get when you forget to put a coaster under your coffee mug, and you need your countertop to look the same way it did when you rented the place when you handed in the keys, so they don't ding you for replacing the countertop. And here's how you use Lysol to do it. That's a whole different conversation.
Yep. So to your point there about people versus brands, I think that there's no reason you can't do both either. You know, I always introduce myself as Greg Jameson from Web Stores Limited.
Of course, yeah, you mix them both. Adam Homey, creator of the podcast Reach System, founder of Launch Your Podcast Fast.
Absolutely, and that way you are branding both names, and the same as when it goes out to an email. I think that, to your point on that's a great thing. I don't send my emails out. I used to, but I don't send my emails out from Web Stores anymore. It's always from Greg Jameson at Web Stores.
Yeah, I'm on your list. I love getting your emails. They're always just, I mean, I learned something from every one of them, even ones that are outright promotional.
Awesome.
Yeah, and what gets me to open them is like, oh, there's Greg from the cabin. He's just whipped out some more brilliance. Let me take 5 seconds and check this out.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, so that's one of the things. I know there's so much more they learn in the program. So this is a short conversation just to introduce people to the opportunity and let them know that it's open. So what I want to do is just give you the floor for a minute or two. Tell us a little bit about what's going on. I'm going to put a link on my screen right now. It's the link you gave me so that those who are curious can check it out as they listen to you. So tell us about it, Greg.
Okay. So when you get there, you'll notice that the program consists of exactly what we just talked about here, but there's 3 different levels of it. So at the low end, you can get in on these classes that take place every other week, followed by a mastermind session. And this is specifically for people that are selling products and services online. If you just have a website, you might get some information out of it, but we're really looking for people that want to help other people that are selling things online. You probably are not going to have a direct competitor in your group because the people that we're talking with, you may have somebody that's selling jewelry right next to somebody that's selling concrete pumps. But you're going to get information from each other and you're going to learn from each other. So that's at the low end. There's a mid-range product where you get all of that, plus you get one-on-one coaching time with me. And then there's the VIP end where you get additional one-on-one coaching with me, plus kind of unlimited access to me in terms of done with you services. So you're sitting there talking in this mastermind program and somebody says, hey, I really found that by creating a video for every single one of my products that I'm just knocking it out of the park. And you're like, I don't have time to build videos by myself. Then that's a good reason to join at the VIP level, because then we can help you build those videos out for every one of your products or whatever the service might be.
And I'm going to encourage everybody, check this out. Particularly talking about multiple streams of revenue or finding new ways to monetize your brilliance and your passion. I'm speaking with more and more people who are interested in selling stuff online, whether it's drop shipping, whether it's the products they themselves manufacture, whether they're reselling, whether it's their own stuff that they create, whatever it is. And with that, Greg Jameson, thank you for being with us. I'm sure we'll have you back again probably within a year or so, because you're going to come up with another stroke of genius. And in which case, you always have a seat here in my living room.
Awesome. I appreciate it, Adam.
Thank you for tuning into the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast, where we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who are making a difference for their community, market, and audience. Remember to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast.